Hello, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining Family Giving Tree today for our back to school drive leader training. This is going to be a jam-packed hour, so I'm going to go ahead and get started so we can get through everything and hopefully finish within the hour. I just wanted to give you a quick introduction. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Evelyn Huynh. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am the Partner Relations Manager here at Family Giving Tree. I currently have with me a nice cup of tea, a nice mug of tea here. It's a maple herbal tea. And for those of you who do know me, you know I always have tea with me, and that I'm always, I love to share my love. So that is that. I would love to now invite my colleague Shannon to the screen so she can introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. I am Shannon. I'm the volunteer coordinator here at Family Giving Tree. You might have seen me in last year's training videos and whatnot. I am excited to be here.
Yay. So I would love for you all to take a moment, if you will, to introduce yourselves in the chat. And if you're open to it, your pronouns and what group you're with. This session is being recorded so that we can share it out with both you who are going to really want to come back and watch this later because we're going to be that entertaining, or for those who were not able to make it to the session and will be watching the recorded version. So just so you know, it's being recorded. But if you're open to it, please throw it into the chat, who you are, where you're from, and give me a highlight of this week so far. What cool things have happened to you so far that you want to share out and shout out to the world. We're going to be using the chat a lot, so make sure when you're chatting, go to the little drop down and have it sent to everyone so that everybody in our panelists, Shannon and myself, as well as in the audience, is able to see. So yes, perfect. Hello, I love it. Thank you for coming, all you wonderful drive leaders. Let's dive in. I want to give you a quick overview of what we're going to go over today. So what we're going to cover is we'll talk about Family Giving Tree as a quick overview for those of you who are not familiar with our organization. Then I will go into some specifics about the physical drive for those of you running the physical drive, and then dive into our virtual drive for those who are launching a virtual giving tree or have launched a virtual giving tree with us. And then Shannon is going to jump in and talk about volunteer opportunities. We have many and they are varied. And then we'll talk briefly about our timeline, go over some best practices, and answer any questions that you may have at the end. So if you have any questions while we're going through things, if you want to wait until the end and throw them in there, that would be cool. If not, and you don't want to forget, you want to put it into the chat right away, that's fine too. I will do my best to go scrubbing for your questions. I also will go through our transcript afterward, and so if I miss anything, I'll email you directly to follow up with you and make sure you have everything you need. All right, so to kick things off, I would like to give you a quick overview about Family Giving Tree. We are in our 33rd year of operation. That's not me at 33 years old. I am not 33 years old, but Family Giving Tree is 33 years old. I wish I were. We do 2 drives a year. We do a back to school drive and a holiday wish drive. So what you are about to embark on right now is our 28th back to school drive. So you're probably looking at this and you're saying, wait a minute, you said you've been here for 33 years. We started off with the holiday wish drive for several years before we started embarking on being able to provide educational tools to students in the Bay Area with the back to school drive. So this is our 28th. We operate out of Milpitas. That is our main office. So for those of you who have stopped in to say hi to us before or pick up materials or whatnot, the Sobrato Center for Nonprofits is where we are. During the drive season, we do work out of a donated South Bay warehouse. So this is a space that is this year going to be in Sunnyvale. For those who have been with us for past drives, it is the same space as where our holiday drive recently was. So 1311 Orleans Drive, that's the address. And that's the high level of us in a nutshell. Overall, our mission and vision, these are some things that we're really, really proud of. Over the past few years, we started reworking our strategic plan and decided we really, really needed to refresh how we wanted to represent ourselves as Family Giving Tree. So our mission is connecting those who can give to those in need with educational support, gifts, and volunteerism. And our vision, we envision a world where giving brings joy, offers hope, and creates learning possibilities. I really, really hope that our mission and vision resonate with a lot of you that are out there. If there are parts of this that you feel like, yes, I'm totally on board with this, I want to hear about it. So feel free to share that in the chat. We did a general information session earlier this year to kind of go deeper into sort of what Family Giving Tree is all about and our history, and a little bit more detail about each of our drives and what we do. So it's a little bit of a higher level but deeper dive into what we do. So if you're interested in learning more, you can head over to our YouTube video that's there. You can either scan that QR code and then pop it onto your phone. Maybe don't watch it right now, but you can just have it saved there, or you can punch in that YouTube URL, or just visit our YouTube channel and check out our awesome content, which will also include this recorded training in a few days. So that's that. Our theme for this year for the Back to School Drive is equipping students to rise to new heights. So we are really focusing on students whose families are in under-resourced areas of our community. So their priorities, if you think about it, they can't necessarily be placed on ensuring that their kids have things like school supplies or new backpacks, because finances only stretch so far. So they're focused on covering things like food and housing, but it's not being able to create greater opportunities for the future, because the focus is on meeting the needs of the present. And the needs of the present are pretty much, this is what we have to do in order to live. But education is such an important part of sort of molding the students into, young functioning adults. And there's so much opportunity there that they can take advantage of. And so we are here to just be able to provide that bit of extra boost for them to help them succeed at school, in the future, in life. So that is what we aim to do. And our goal for this year for Back to School is to provide backpacks and school supplies for 28,000 students. It sounds like a huge number, and it is a huge number. It's pretty lofty to try to get backpacks on 28,000 backs in one summer season. But just to give you a little bit of kind of context, historically, before the pandemic, we were able to fulfill closer to like 40,000. So things have changed across the board for a lot of people, nonprofits, but also the families that are in need, and then also our donors as well. So we're trying to work our way back up, but 28,000 students, nothing to scoff at. It is still a lofty goal, and we still absolutely need your help and support to make sure we can hit that number this year. So let's mobilize and get it done, right? To give you an idea of what we will be providing in the backpacks for the students this year, we have them broken out in 3 different grade levels, kindergarten through 2nd grade, 3rd through 5th grade, and 6th through 12th grade. And this is essentially the list of the individual supplies that are going into the backpack, which is hopefully what you will be trying to help support us with, either by enabling your donors to go out and purchase and donate all of these items, including the backpack, or helping to fund them online so that we can go and actually purchase all of that. So, or both. Our Drive Leader Hub is a one-stop shop for all things Drive Leader resources that you may need. In your registration confirmation email that went out to you after you registered for your drive, you received a link to this page. I would bookmark this page because it is loaded with great items that you can use in order to promote your drive, to learn more about the Back to School Drive, to pull photos. here are a few examples of items that are in the Drive Leader Hub. So we've got email templates. We have a helpful tips doc that has a bunch of tips and tricks that we may not necessarily go over in this session, but just it's somewhere that you can kind of reference and read when you want to. We also have the virtual giving tree tutorial video. So if you are signed up for a virtual giving tree and you want to know how to set it up, how to, get a tour of it and all of that, you can go to that video and get that overview. We also have a poster that you can download and print if you do not request for physical posters, and also just graphics that you can download and use in your emails, use in your social messages. So you can actually just go there, dig through everything. Things are broken out by section in the Drive Leader Hub. So hopefully it's easier for you to be able to navigate through that. So let's dive into the physical drive. We're going to start off with the backpack tags. So if you signed up to lead a physical drive, one option you had was to either request for physical backpack tags, or another option was that you would be downloading and printing them. So the ones on the left in this slide here are the ones that you would be receiving in the mail if you requested them or picking up from us. And then the ones on the right are the ones that you will be downloading and printing or sending to people for them to download and print. You don't have to print everything. You can just send it to people and have them print it. So as you can see, they have the shopping lists for everything that actually goes into the backpacks. And then on the back side are also instructions, so specific things to look out for. If you're not using tags to do your back to school drive, your physical drive, that's totally fine. Another option you have is also to go off of our general supply list. And so in the Drive Leader Hub, this is a PDF file, so you can copy that link and share it out with your group. And that is essentially, the list broken out by the 3 different grade levels, but you can kind of see it all in one view. So it's easy to email out, and you can just share it. You can print them out and display them wherever you are. However you want to use the supply list, you're more than welcome to. If you can just remind people, don't forget the backpack. That would be great, because, kind of important to house all the things. We have a couple of questions here that I just want to check on really quick. Is there a place to find more details about specific requested items, such as size of requested whiteboards? We don't have any specific size requirements. So if you have a specific question, you can reach out to me and I can go back and ask, but unless it says it specifically on the tag or the list, you kind of have a little bit of freedom to go off of what you think would be best. So like, for example, the backpack size, there's an actual minimum, or the size of like the quantity of markers or whatever, there's a minimum, or just there's a quantity request for that. So those things you should adhere to. Otherwise, you've got a little bit of freedom to kind of pick what you can find and what you would like to share. Another question I have is for the different school supplies, is it okay to have items of different colors? There is no limit in terms of colors for the items themselves. So go to town, pick up that unicorn ruler, the rainbow unicorn ruler that you've been eyeing, go for it. Nobody will stop you. For the physical drive backpacks that you will be donating, there are limitations on the specific sizes of backpacks and colors of backpacks. So you should refer to the backpack guidelines available either in your instruction packet or on the Drive Leader Hub. And it goes through each of the grade levels and tells you for each grade level what is an appropriate backpack to purchase for the students. So it's really good guidance, because a 6th through 12th grader may not necessarily want a Cinderella backpack. So just something to think about. And, for those who maybe don't have kids and don't really know what the kids might actually want, this is a really good guide to share with them. So don't be shy about sending that out to them. Yeah, well, they might. You're right. Some people might want a Cinderella backpack. So we are currently doing material pickups and mailing this week. Today is actually the last day that I have scheduled appointments for pickups, but you are certainly able to reach out to me to schedule an appointment if you wanted to come pick up stuff, because something like a collection box is something that we cannot mail out to you. So if you requested for a collection box, or if you think you want a collection box, you'll need to come and pick that up from our office. And again, that is our office in Milpitas. If you need additional materials, you can reach out to me and check for check on scheduling a time with me to come in to grab additional materials, or we can send those out to you. So you can shoot me an email and we can get that out to you as well. So it'll probably take like about a week in order to get that stuff to you. So versus like if you're coming to pick up from office, it could be a matter of days. Again, 606 Valley Way, that's where you would be going in Milpitas to come pick up stuff from us. And, you know, if we are coordinating time to pick up, I will remind you of that, and I will send you directions, because sometimes the maps can be a little wonky and take you into a neighborhood. So definitely pay attention to the directions that are there. If you do want to schedule a pickup time for your boxes or your materials and they haven't already been mailed out, please go ahead and email me. Otherwise, we'll be mailing it via USPS or USPS Priority or FedEx. So you'd be, for the most part, most of you will be getting an envelope that kind of looks like this, and it'll be sent out priority. So yeah, so just respond to your confirmation email. That's how you can easily reach out to me, and I can kind of see, oh, what company you're with and what you requested for, and we can kind of get that rolling. I'm going to now pause on sharing my screen so that I can actually show you what the physical materials look like. So what you would be receiving if you requested for physical materials. So let's do that. And hopefully you'll be able to see this. But first things first, you'll be receiving a packet of tags if you requested for tags. And so they come in a pack of 25. So there are 8 K through 2 tags, 7 3 to 5 tags, and 10 6 through 12 tags. So they are all the different colors. Our little K through 2 are the little acorns, which are super duper cute. This will be easier to show here. Our 3 to 5 are our mighty little saplings here. And our 6 through 12 tags are our mighty oak leaves. Look at how cool that oak leaf is with its backpack slung back there. So with this packet, you also receive a couple of monetary donation envelopes. So let me pull this out for you. So if anyone in your group wants to cut a check to donate to us, you can provide this for them. So for anyone who's requesting like 100 tags or less, you're going to get like 2 of these in your packet, I think 2 or 3 of these in your packet. So if you need more, let us know. We can get you more, or you can come and pick up more. But essentially, they fill out their information here. They have to make sure to put your company or organization name here so we can make sure you get credited for their donation. They can either send it in themselves, it's self-addressed here, or they can give it back to you so that you can submit when you come and drop off your materials. Many options for you. Oh, I was showing you the tags. The back side of the tags look like this. So these are the instructions that are there. It'll say things like, please don't provide red or blue backpacks. We have gang affiliation issues in the Bay Area, so that's why we do that. If you get red or blue backpacks, it is not the end of the world. We will not turn them away. We will take them. It's just that a lot of the schools cannot take them. So we just kind of focus on the ones who can take the red and blue and get them there. But we definitely need a lot more that are not sort of those gang affiliated colors. And then, you know, the instructions also say, you know, you want to loop this tag onto the strap of the backpack so that we can make sure it's tagged and we can spot right away what grade level that backpack is. So by the time they get back to you, hopefully these are on those backpacks, or that you are going to assemble a team to put these tags on. So either this or the download and print tags. If you don't have tags, you can go ahead and use like yarn or ribbon that follow the same color scheme as the different grade levels. That is totally fine too. I'm just checking on questions here. So if you need an invoice for the boxes, send me an email and we can get one generated for you, so that you can submit your donation for the boxes. Yes, so we don't require payment for the boxes if you request for them, but we surely appreciate the donations because they are $30. They cost us $30, about $30 a box. So yeah, so if you can help with that and you're taking a box, that would be great. There's not a deadline at this time to request materials. I'm probably going to stop allowing folks to register for physical drive materials like mid-July, just because it takes a week to get things out and then all of the backpacks are due at the end. So the wired headphones that we're requesting on our lists should be headphones. So those are the ones that go over your head for the younger kids. And then the earbuds are the ones that are going to be for the middle and older kids. Oh, great. Shannon, you answered it. Okay. I'm going to let you roll. If you have more questions, you can ask, but otherwise I'm going to keep rolling on this presentation and I'll go back later. Okay. So the donation collection. So a couple of things you should definitely consider doing. Share the tag image links and the supply list with your group. So if you are in a situation where your group is hybrid, not always meeting together and they can't get tags from you physically, there's nothing stopping you from sharing that stuff via email or over Slack or whatever, so that they can have access to it and be able to download it and get started. They shouldn't have to wait. If you are physically in an office, definitely consider placing your tags in your lobby or, whatever shared space there may be, where folks can you can catch their eye with your tags or your collection box. Make sure you are displaying your posters. If you requested for posters, they're really cool. They're really colorful. Oh, I forgot. Thank you for reminding me. I did not resume my sharing. Shannon is the best. Okay, so donation collection. Display your posters prominently and proudly. There are slots on the posters. I forgot to share the posters with you. This is what the poster looks like. This is how big it is. 18 by 24. So you can see here, there are blank spots for you to fill out the instructions and being able to put in your virtual giving tree and who the contact will be and where they need to drop off their stuff. So utilize these spaces here to fill in those blanks so your people participating in your drive know exactly what they need to do when they're donating their backpacks. Again, you can download this off of our Drive Leader Hub as well and use that. You can download a smaller version and print an 8.5-11 if you want, if this is too overwhelming for your space. I forgot to go through all my materials. Sorry. This is the Drive Leader instruction packet if you requested for physical materials. So this is that backpack guideline I was showing you earlier, but there's FAQs on here, also available in the Drive Leader Hub. Another thing is the drop-off form as well. So you absolutely need this when you come and drop off your materials so that we can keep track of your donation. When you are collecting any monetary donations that are coming in, like the checks or cash or whatever, utilize this envelope or utilize your own envelope, write your organization name on it, and put all of your donations in it, seal it, and then bring it to your drop off and we will securely take it from you. So don't forget, those are important things. These are also instructions that are provided for you so you don't have to remember all of this stuff, or you can just rewatch this video. Okay, going back to donation collection. So sorry, I got derailed. So make sure you display your posters. When you are, if you have collection boxes, make sure you are putting them out in heavily trafficked areas. Like I said, if there was a lobby or whatnot where you got your stuff out, make sure to put it out there. I do recommend that if you are putting your collection box out in a public area where people off the street can see it, that at the end of the day, you stash that somewhere so nobody kind of eyeballs and wants to try to steal that from you. So but definitely make sure to secure your collection boxes. in order to kind of keep your group engaged, and reminding them that there is a back to school drive you are participating in. If you are perusing the ads and you happen to see deals that are out there, send out a note to say, hey, there is a sale at Target on erasers this week, whatever that may be. So share those deals out with your group. It, number one, kind of triggers a reminder of, oh yeah, I got to go get that stuff. And then number two, helps them save a couple of bucks in their virtual wallets or whatnot, right? So you're doing a good deed by encouraging them to shop those deals. I mentioned earlier, make sure you securely store your donations at the end. If you are not meeting up in person and you need to figure out how to get all of these physical donations, consider scheduling meetups with people. So you can meet up with folks in the parking lot of a Starbucks if you wanted to. We've actually had drive leaders who've done that, where they've just kind of coordinated, hey, 12 o'clock, let's go to this parking lot here and we'll transfer your donations to my car. That is a thing. Otherwise, there are definitely free spaces available in the community that you can book if you wanted to kind of book a collection event for yourself. One great resource is if you go and visit Sports Basement online, they actually have event spaces that are free to book. And you can use those for whatever you want, and there's no obligation to do anything specific. There's no payment, it's just free. So if you're looking for a space to do something like that, definitely check there on their website. It's very, very cool. What an awesome offering that they have. Don't feel like you have to do this alone. Definitely consider teaming up with other people to kind of coordinate all of this. It's hard to do alone sometimes, and you shouldn't have to feel like it's a one-person gig, because it's not. It also helps us as well. So like, in the event that you are at a company and you get an amazing offer for a new job, we don't want to lose track of being able to work with, well, number one, work with you, but also the great folks at your company or organization, and would love to be able to keep in contact. And so when there are multiple people working with you, we'll be able to kind of keep those communication lines going. And so that helps you out, and that helps us out as well, because if you happen to be out sick, we have somebody else we can kind of leverage to make sure that, you've got everything you need as we're leading up to the drive or whatnot. And so, yeah, so don't feel like you have to do it alone, because you don't. With regards to dropping off, there are a few things to actually keep in mind. When it does come time to drop off, a few weeks before, I will be sending out instructions for what you should expect during drop-offs and what you're going to need. And one of those things is to sign up for an appointment. So you're going to want to be on the lookout for that email from me, and then click on that link. It will be a Sign Up Genius link, and you will have slots. There are 15-minute slots you'll be able to sign up for in order to come and drop off your materials. And so we're going to actually have multiple locations. We have drop-off locations remotely. So there are one-day drop-offs, single day drop off in San Francisco, a single day in Castro Valley, and a single day in Palo Alto. And then we've got 3 drop off days that are going to be official, appointments for you to sign up for in Sunnyvale, in our main warehouse that I mentioned earlier. So before you come drop off, before you come drop off, I am going to request for a count of all of the donations that you will be bringing in, and you'll see on the drop-off form that I do ask for that information. And I will request that you are going to be sending your totals to me before you come drop off, just so we can kind of anticipate how many backpacks we should expect to come in that day. It helps us with coordinating volunteers, and also helps us to figure out logistically in the warehouse what we need to prepare in order to get things out to the schools. If you are not able to make your drop-off time, please email me and let me know. So please either show up or reschedule. Just don't leave me hanging. I will reach out to you if I don't hear from you and don't see you, just to make sure that you didn't forget or whatnot. But if you do remember, if something comes up, please just communicate with me. I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. Make sure you use your box for collection only. I wouldn't recommend hauling a full box of backpacks around because your bottom might fall out. The boxes are great. They're just not meant for hauling like complete full like backpacks. So I would transfer them into the trunk of your car or something. And then when you come and drop off, you can kind of, we'll work with you. Our volunteers will help you with unloading your car into our speed packs. So if you want to chance it and try to do the full box and just kind of haul it all in one big box, you certainly can. It's just, it might be a little bit more challenging. So again, recruit help. You don't have to do it alone. If you know people who have large SUVs who can maybe do it in one trip, that's something to consider. Or pickup trucks, you know, strap everything down. That's not a bad idea. So start eyeballing who you know out there who's got like big vehicles who can bring that stuff in for you or help you out. We do have an early drop-off option this year, and that is going to be on July 19th, and that's going to be included in the signups as well. And it'll be an all-day option. And we're doing this early drop-off because we do have some schools that will be picking up starting on the 19th. And we want to make sure that we can actually get backpacks out to them. So if you happen to be able to finish your drive early and have things ready to go by the 19th, and you just want to get that stuff out of your living room, you're welcome to sign up for the 19th, and we would happily welcome you with open arms and open speed packs. Okay, so moving on to our virtual online drive. So for those of you who have signed up to lead a virtual giving tree with us, we have revamped our virtual giving tree again, and we will constantly be revamping our virtual giving tree. So this is what it looks like for this back to school season. And this is an opportunity for folks to be able to fund backpacks online. And this is a great option for folks who are in work environments that are hybrid or where people are working remote, and you want to give them the opportunity to be able to donate. It really makes the drive a lot more accessible for your group because you give the opportunity, you know, if you kind of do both physical and virtual, it gives people who want to go out for that shopping experience, maybe taking their kids out to go shopping, to kind of give that lesson in giving and whatnot. And then at the same time, for people who maybe are not able to actually get out to the stores, that they have that opportunity to still take part in the drive and donate online. Donating online doesn't mean that you also just have to use the virtual giving tree. We do support taking in workplace giving. So if your corporation happens to partner with a workplace giving, company or software that you have enabled, definitely promote it and promote the back to school drive through it. So you can use all of our marketing materials that are in the Drive Leader Hub and use that to remind people, hey, we're going to be participating in the back to school drive. Make sure you make your donation through our Benevity platform or whatnot, and contribute and support the back to school drive this season. That is absolutely perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine for you to use. So don't forget to leverage that opportunity as well. Sometimes for some folks, it's also easier in order to push people to submit for matching. So please do whatever is easiest for you. If you are in the virtual giving tree world and you signed up for that with us, I highly encourage you to customize it. We do have the options for you to be able to customize your page with a picture or a logo, so you can upload that when you go into the admin platform. Or you can also include a short, brief write-up to talk about why you're participating with Family Giving Tree in the back to school drive, or whatever message you want, and it will display on the front page of that virtual giving tree. You don't have to. You can run it as is, and it works perfectly fine. So it looks like that. That page that you see on your screen, it will just have our logo, Family Giving Tree logo on the left side, and then the standard write-up, and it'll still function and be fine. So I just highly recommend you put a little bit of personal touch to it if you have the opportunity to. One thing to also keep in mind is you can put in goals for your virtual giving tree. So if you think, hey, I want to be able to donate, get our group to donate $1,000, throw it in there, set the goal for $1,000, and make sure you're, communicating that out to your group. Some best practices, like I mentioned, set your goals. What's really nice is you don't have to just stick to that goal as is. Like if you hit 1,000 right away, that's amazing and that's great. And consider updating your goal and bumping it up, right? You hit $1,000 in 2 days, maybe bump it up to like $5,000. You can go back and update that as many times as you need to, up or down. So do share your progress with your group. It is so important for people to know how it is that you're doing, because it's one of those things where it's out of sight, out of mind, right? So if you sent an email the first day and said, hey, we're doing a virtual giving tree, and then they never hear from you again, they're not going to remember that this is a thing that's going on. So definitely share the progress, let people know, hey, we're in our first week and we're halfway there already. Whatever it is you want to share, put it out there just to remind them you are doing the drive. Like I mentioned earlier, update your goals if you feel like, ooh, we're moving really fast, or if you feel like, ooh, okay, maybe $100,000 was really, really lofty. Don't be afraid to just scale that back, do something that's realistic for you, but also be a little ambitious about it too. Each organization is different and unique in their own way. So you kind of have to figure out what amount is right for you. Just experiment or just get a feel for, how people have done in the past and update it that way. Consider getting a bunch of teams within your group to unite and join in this common purpose and giving back to school. It is a really, really great unification tool to get multiple teams involved in giving back, I think is cool. And you're working towards a common purpose, and that just, there's no better way to bring people together. But another motivator also is to pit teams against each other and ignite a little bit of friendly competition. There's nothing wrong with that. That also fuels people to want to take action as well. So leverage that. Consider sharing stories and images with us. Share it on your social media. We do have a Memory Fox page where we are collecting stories and pictures and whatnot, and we would love to be able to share your experience out with everyone. So if you've got like a display at your workplace or your store that you're really, really proud of, or maybe your pile of backpacks that you're about to go and deliver, how amazing it is, or how it's like taller than your kid. I want to see that. I think that's cool. And I think everybody would really appreciate that too. And we want to be able to applaud your efforts. So don't be afraid to share that information out to the world. It's something to be proud of that you're working towards. And make sure you're just connecting often. It's really important to just, keep the feelers out there and remind people that this is something, the problem in the Bay Area with being able to afford to go to school is real. And so the work that they're putting towards helping to mitigate that a bit is very, very important for us. So a quick thing with regard to our marketing schedule, your marketing schedule specifically, if you haven't already and you are ready to, definitely mark it out that you are launching your back to school campaign. That is very, very important. People need to know what the link is for you to be able to donate to. And you probably need to do it a couple of times because people may not pay attention to all their emails. Something to consider after the first week is how you're doing as far as progress goes. Like, hey, after week 1, we're X% of the way there. Go team, or, we've only got 1 donation and we need a lot more work. So let's get together and push this forward. Whatever that messaging is, try to give the progress updates at least after the first week. Once you're kind of in the middle of your campaign, consider sending out another check-in email to say, hey, we are halfway through the season. Just want to remind people we're still doing this. So if you got a little bit of extra space in your paycheck to kind of contribute to the back to school drive, please consider doing that. And then maybe a week before you decide to end your campaign, all of the virtual giving trees close after September 9th. September 9th? September 8th, sorry. September 8th at 9 p.m. That is when all of the VGTs are going to shut down. So maybe a week before, you can send out a reminder email to say, hey, 1 week left. Or if you're ending your campaign early, that's totally fine too, but the sites are going to stay open until September 8th. But definitely put that out there for people so they remember that this thing exists. Consider putting together an end of campaign recap. There is a template out there in the email templates for you, but we will also be sending emails out to you in terms of like, hey, we finished and this is how many backpacks you donated. So you are welcome to take that information, or if you feel like you just want to send it out sooner and do a recap of where we are, wherever we are, you can recap how you did as your organization, right? As far as like what you know in terms of how many things or items you've donated, because you ideally are checking your virtual giving tree to see how that's going. If you have any questions or any issues with our virtual giving tree, it's technology. Sometimes technology does not work 100%. We do have the feedback button that's on the VGT. It's that little red button that sits there on the right side that's floating. Use that feedback button to submit your bug. That is the best and quickest way to get to our developers to make sure that the issues are resolved. And if you have any questions or any other concerns about the virtual giving tree, my colleague Amelia owns the virtual giving tree as a project. And so she is our expert and can provide you with any answers to VGT questions you may have. Otherwise, you can email me. I am on the other end of Drive Leaders at fgt.org. So you can ask me that as well. Let's dive into marketing language for back to school. So there are great ways to represent the students that we are working with, and there are not so great ways to work to represent them. We want to consider representing them as with adjectives that are person first, positive and uplifting. We don't necessarily want to use, we don't want to use terms like needy or at risk, or, you know, those are very dated terms that really have a negative feel to them. And we really need to spotlight them in a different and more positive way. And so this is a word cloud example of some adjectives that you should consider using when you are talking about the students we are providing for. In our last training session that we had done in May, I asked our audience, you know, what kind of words would you use to add to this, and, you know, or, you know, to highlight. And so some folks reiterated a couple that were on this art, and a couple of folks threw in some new ones. So I want to know, what do you feel like are good words we can use to describe these students? What pops into your brain when you think about the students that you know in your life, your kids or your nieces or nephews, or, you know, your friends' kids, or if you are a kid, which I don't think anyone here is at this moment, but some of the folks from the last training session threw out brilliant, smart, ambitious, amazing, dedicated, and curious. And I thought those were really, really cool. So yeah, share with me. I want to know what you think are some really great adjectives that we can use to describe our kids. While you're thinking of those and popping them into the chat, I would love to turn things over to my colleague Shannon to talk about our volunteer opportunities.
Hello. I hope that you're not overwhelmed. It's definitely a lot of information, but like Evelyn said, this is all recorded. If you have questions, just let us know. I wanted to talk about volunteer opportunities. So you all collect donations, you collect backpacks, you bring them to the warehouse, and then what happens? We have lots of volunteers, including maybe yourself, in the warehouse, checking the backpacks, building more backpacks, and you can all be a part of that. So registration is now open. It opened last Wednesday, and luckily there are still a lot of spots open. So if you want to scan that QR code or go to that kind of long link there, you also will have the link in your emails. So if you registered earlier than last Wednesday as a drive leader, then you will have had it. It will have come on Wednesday morning or Wednesday at noon. And if you have registered since then to be a drive leader, then it should be in your confirmation email that you have received after you signed up to be a drive leader. If it's not, feel free to email me or Evelyn, and we will be happy to give it to you. But also it's on the screen. So what to expect, you have access to 10 spots. So that is 10 shifts for one person. That is one shift for 10 people. Just be aware that it does depend on shift availability. So if you go on the site right now, you'll see that sometimes there are 5 spots available. Sometimes there's 8, sometimes there's 10. So just be prepared that you might not have all 10 people come at once, and that's totally fine. You can have 2 smaller groups, but you have access to 10. Volunteers of all ages are welcome. So ages 0 to 120, you are welcome. We'll put you to work. Anyone under 16, though, does need adult supervision. If you're bringing a student or someone who needs approval of their hours, then they can bring that sheet, or they can send an online form to me, and I'll be happy to sign that form once they've completed their hours. Typically, you have 2-hour shifts available between June 29th and August 15th, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. We do have a few weekend and night shifts. I think those are already taken, but if you come back closer to the date of those shifts, like 2 weeks in advance, so like the beginning of July maybe, come back and it might be open for you. And that goes for any of the shifts. I'll get into it later, but we're gonna have something new where more things might be opening up. Last thing, yes, volunteer shifts are 10 max. There is no deadline for signing up for shifts. If something comes up and you are able to join us the day of and something is open, then come on in, sign up, come on in. We'd love to have you. Like I said, there are a lot of spots open. Last I checked about 20 minutes ago, we had 236 spots left. So go ahead, sign up. Love to see you. If you want to go to the next slide. Thank you. So like I said, we're doing something new this year. We want to allow as many people as possible to volunteer with us. And that does mean getting a little bit more strict on the volunteer spots that we give out. So you can sign up for up to 10 people. And as you're signing up, you just put your information in and then say, I want 9 more people to come with me. Once you get your confirmation, you'll then have to put the rest of the group members' information in. And that has to happen before your shift, 2 weeks before your shift starts. If it does not happen, we're going to release it back to the rest of the drive leaders and the rest of priority registration. We know that can be difficult finding people so early, but it really helps us to make sure that we have the people that we need. We don't want, like, on our end, we don't want to see that there are 15 people coming, but then only have 5. Then we can't get the goals for that shift done, and it might snowball and turn into us not being able to serve and get those backpacks out in time. So really just be aware, try to get those names in. If you really have a problem with getting those names in, just let us know and we might be able to work something out, but we really need that 2 weeks in advance. Next, please. All right, lastly, I have created a Drive Leader volunteer guide. So you can scan that QR code or go to the link at the bottom of the screen, but it'll have key things to note. It'll have registration instructions. It'll have Volunteer do's and don'ts, like do wear closed-toed shoes, do bring water, don't, you'll see it. And then there's also some fun things like a flow chart that shows kind of what we do in the warehouse and our processes and what we keep in mind. So if you want to have a better understanding of what you might be doing in the warehouse, you can go ahead and check that out. If you have any questions that Evelyn has not answered, I don't see any, but I'll go through it and as I hand things back over to Evelyn.
Yay, thank you so much, Shannon. Yeah, I think I got them all.
Okay.
Y'all have a lot of great questions, just FYI. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Okay, so let's go and take a look at the timeline at a glance here. So as I mentioned earlier, right now, Virtual Giving Tree, those are live. So if you signed up, one of the questions in the chat was if I registered to lead a drive, do I automatically get a VGT? If you didn't opt in for a VGT, you don't get one. So if you wanted one now, send me an email and just say, hey, can you add a VGT to my drive? That's it. And then I will get you set up, and then you will get a setup email like within 24 hours, business hours, hopefully. And then you can get rolling on that. There's no cost. There's no cost with any of this, with drive leading or whatnot. So there's also no harm in signing up for a Virtual Giving Tree. Right. Right now, we are getting all of those physical materials put together and out to you, either via pickup, you picking up stuff, or us getting them mailed out to you. This will continue on getting out in the mail to you through like mid-July. And then also right now, priority volunteering registration for all you wonderful drive leaders. You can sign up for those 10 slots pretty much right now. So definitely go and do that before all the great slots are taken. It's a popular thing. From July through August 18th, the warehouse is open for us to have you in for volunteering. And it is a great thing. You kind of get to see full circle how things happen from, your donors bringing in their backpacks to the backpacks going out to the schools. It's pretty cool. July 19th, we will have that early physical donation drop-off option at the warehouse. If you would like to empty out your living room or your bedroom or whatever, wherever all of these backpacks are going to be getting stored, and that interim of you collecting them from your folks and bringing them to us, if you are doing that physical donation. July 25th through 27th is our main sort of drop-off period. If you do have late backpacks, we will absolutely take them. We will take them because sometimes people just cannot get it together and get things to you on time. And I totally feel your pain. So email me. We will schedule an appointment with you for you to come down to the warehouse and drop your stuff off. We get stragglers. It is not an uncommon thing. We just need to get as many backpacks back by the 27th as possible, because like I said, there are schools that are actually picking up the week before, and they are picking up that week. It's going to be pretty busy, and school starts for the week of August 7th for a bunch of schools that we're actually working with. So if you think about that timeline, it's not a very large timeline that we have to work with in order to check all those backpacks and get them ready for the schools. And then again, for the Virtual Giving Tree, the last day of that will be September 8th. All right. Like Shannon said, it was a lot. I did a lot of talking. She did a lot of talking, less than me. But if you have questions that were not answered, or you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, oh, I wanted to know this and I forgot to ask Evelyn in the chat, send me an email to driveleaders@fgt.org. If you have anything specific to volunteering you wanted to get more information about, send Shannon an email at volunteers@fgt.org. You can send it to me and I can, loop Shannon in, but I'm not going to have those answers for you if it's volunteer specific. So anything regarding your drive, I got you. So take note of that. You also have us in your inbox. So should be easy to find us wherever you are. And with that, we are so grateful for your time, and we actually ended before the 2 p.m. mark. Thank you so much for joining us. We're so excited to launch this year with our back to school drive with you all. You are wonderful folks, and we couldn't do it without you, and we're so grateful to have you on board. So yeah, I hope you have a really great drive this season, and don't be shy. Say hello. If you see us in the warehouse, we want to meet you, want to say hi, give you high fives, all of that good stuff. So have a wonderful drive season, and I'll see you around. Thanks, folks.